1923, Longyear Museum is dedicated to advancing the understanding of the life and work of Mary Baker Eddy, the discoverer, founder, and leader of Christian Science. This award honors Longyear's restoration and stewardship of 3 New Hampshire houses that represent distinct periods in Mrs. Eddy's life. The buildings also demonstrate the evolution of the historic preservation movement and serve as models for heritage organizations' stewardship. Mary Baker Eddy, 1821 to 1910, was born on a farm in Bow and moved to Tilton with her family as a young teen. She struggled with illness, sorrow, and loss for many years, seeking spiritual solutions and comfort in her study of the Bible. In 1866, a transformative healing led to her discovery of Christian Science. She devoted the rest of her life to articulating and sharing her discovery and founding a worldwide religion. Within a few years after Mrs. Eddy's passing, philanthropist Mary Beecher Longyear, 1851 to 1931, began preserving the historical record of Mrs. Eddy's life. She traveled back roads throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts, collecting houses, artifacts, documents, and reminiscences from people who knew Mrs. Eddy. Mrs. Longyear purchased the 4-room cottage in North Groton in 1920, had it moved back to its original location by horse and sledge, and restored it. The house opened for tours in the late 1920s. Over the years, it has been restored several times, the most recent exterior restoration being in 2002. Mrs. Longyear also purchased the Rumney house in 1920, and it opened a few years later. Between 2005 and 2008, both the exterior and the interior of the house were restored according to updated historical research. In 1985, the stately Concord Greek Revival at the corner of North State and Court Streets was donated to Longyear Museum. Extensive restoration work in 2007 to 2008 resulted in a return to its vibrant original colors, a new slate roof, and repaired cornices and columns. Mrs. Longyear's early contributions to the preservation movement and Longyear Museum's 100-year history of preserving and interpreting historic properties to a high standard are noteworthy aspects of this award.